This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeff Gardner.
Welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today, we have another two good neighbors on, Amanda and Francesco Celestino of Licious Bakery Cafe. How you two doing this morning?
Good.
Good, man. Good. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys. So let's start off right from the top. What is Licious Bakery Cafe? Tell us a little bit about it.
So Licious Bakery is a local eatery. We do have a hot table. We have freshly baked goods. Francesco, we do catering. Catering is a huge part of the business. Espresso drinks, of course, and they're all recipes from Francesco's hometown of Fidale in Calabria, Italy. So straight from his grandmother's house all the way to Fidale.
Sorry, which town? I didn't quite hear you there. Which town was that?
It's a Camigliatello Silano. It's a very small town in the south of Italy, Calabria. Almost 2,000 meters on top of the sea. We are 1,000 people living in this town. We know everybody, each other, and everybody like here cooking and eat most of the around in the same table. Let's say that.
And how long ago? So I imagine you lived there, Francesco?
Yeah.
How long have you been in Canada for?
Been in Canada since 2011 now.
2011. Gorgeous place out in Italy where you're from?
Yes. Let's say, where I come from, like, is a mountain part, like, doing a lot of forest, we have lakes. That's why I choose Barrie when I moved to Canada. It looks like it has the same picture of my town. So I feel very, very, very at home here too.
Beautiful.
They call it his hometown, that if you translate it, they call it the little Switzerland of Italy.
The little Switzerland.
And the lakes. Yeah, even though it's southern Italy, so people think of the sea and it's hot, but his particular area is actually more like Switzerland.
Beautiful. And so all the recipes come from your grandmother?
Absolutely, yes.
Passing down that tradition. That's fantastic. I love it. Tell us, what's the history? I mean, I'm starting to get an idea of what the history of this business is, but it's kind of a two-pronged question. Clearly, eating and entertaining and all of this has been part of your upbringing, at least for you, Francesco. I'm interested in yours as well, Amanda. But I like to eat too. That doesn't mean that I decided to make food my business and also open my own business. Those are two separate commitments, both big. So what made you decide to be like, this is what I'm going to do? I'm going to put smiles on people's faces by creating great food, and I'm going to open my own business. Like, you could have done that under somebody else. Why take this huge commitment down this road of serving people through eating and drinking?
Well, we've always been in the food industry. So just when he arrived from Canada, his first job was as a barista, actually making espresso drinks in Yorkville. And then when we moved to Barrie, we worked with a lot of local restaurants, well-known local restaurants in downtown Barrie. And we were always around food. And the idea of starting our own business started during COVID, actually. And it was because Francesco, he started driving for Skip and Uber at the time, just as a side hustle. Everyone was struggling. We still had his job, but I'm a professor. I was a professor at Georgian College at the time, and I was laid off because most of my students are international. So during COVID, my work was a bit stagnant, and he was driving for Skip and Uber. And he said, I really hate this. I hate leaving the food on the belt, like on the porch, and walking away. Like, it seems impersonal. It seems cold. Like, I can't even tell these people enjoy your meal. Like, it's really sad, right? So he said, what if we made lasagnas and I would deliver them, and when I deliver them, I would sing, because I don't know if you know, but Francesco is a singer.
I like to sing, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that idea turned into us renting a commercial kitchen in North York called Kitchen 24.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a licensed commercial kitchen that we could get insurance for. We rented that out, and it was incredibly scary putting our first deposit and we started making lasagna. And our first colleague, my colleague from Georgia at the time, said, can you sing and I'll record you. And so she did that. And she recorded us, recorded him delivering, uploaded it, shared it, and people started sharing, and that
it was a sharing. It was a sharing of the thoughts.
Yeah, and then from there, that turned into creating a website, turned into maybe looking for our own place, and that's what we did eventually, was look for our own hot table eatery place. And Licious at the time was for sale, but we knew about it, but it seemed out of reach. And the more we talked to the owner, the more we realized, hey, you know what, this is actually within reach. And then within reach turned into actually buying the existing place that we own now.
And was it called Licious before you bought it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. We contemplated changing the name. And at the time, she had the previous owner had a really good reputation. She made good food. She gave good service. So we didn't want to, we were scared. We were scared of changing the name into something completely different and losing maybe some of her following. Now that I think about it, maybe we could have changed the name to something more personal, like something that represents maybe our family a little bit better. But at the time, we didn't want to meddle with anything.
And I'm always curious because we talk about business all day. It's the world that we're in, how businesses pivot, how they change products and services, what works, what doesn't work. Since this previous owner already had a customer base, people were going there for a reason. Did you guys keep the menu the same? Like, did those current client base, do they get the same experience?
The same. We actually extend our menu. We are introducing more recipe. We are introducing more plates, for people to test. Ready-to-eat meals. We put our catering menu. Things before then, I don't know, catering stuff. So we took the existing to more improve the existing menu.
Beautiful.
They were at a disadvantage, unfortunately, because they opened up right before COVID. Yeah. So they opened up, I think, late 2019. So they had a great menu, they had great food, but they struggled a bit attracting new clients because everyone knows that during COVID, people were kind of loyal to the places they knew, right? They wanted to see the small businesses they know survive, right? Mm-hmm. So they were able to build it up after we bought it late 2022. So 2021 you could see their growth starting, but that 2020 early 2021 was really, really hard.
And you guys took over what year?
October 2022.
And how has it been since then? How's been your first couple of years as business owners?
It's grown. It's grown.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's the fact the berry community is very well. I mean, since I'm berry since 2013, I discovered berry community is very, very welcome. I very appreciate the fact that we are there. Please, guys, no clothes. Please, no. If you have an idea, let us know where you guys go.
Loyal. Our customers are super. Yes. We've closed twice in the last 2 years for small family time, basically, and we were so scared, absolutely terrified. And the day we opened back up, all our loyal, everyone we see on the daily basis, it was like we had never closed up, right? And we were so scared about people losing interest or people getting angry that we closed it for 4 or 5 days. And now looking back, it's silly that we were scared. It says something about the community. It still has a little bit of a small town heart to it. And I grew up in Barrie. I'm originally from Barrie. And I think that helps because, I find connections with every third customer that walks in. Maybe their child went to Bear Creek, like I went to Bear Creek, or we went to there's easy ways to find connections with people quickly because of the fact that maybe they know my brother or my mother, right? So there's still a small town heart to Barrie, even though it's quite a large city.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that same feeling being here as much as we are. I love that story. I love that you guys started in COVID. It's amazing how many guests we have had on here that have started their businesses in COVID. It was such an interesting time. And I just love the history of it, the way you two paired together, and Francesco singing. Like, I'm just picturing him delivering a lasagna to my place, and then I just want my food, and he's like, hold on, let me sing to you first. I'm like, okay, this is a great experience. I now need to hear your voice, man. So, your wife over there is
Any requests or what? We're definitely gonna wake up Alyssa. We have a 6-year-old. We're definitely gonna wake him up now, but that's fine.
Okay. Let's pivot on to you guys a little bit. What puts a smile on both of your faces outside of work? Can't be work related and can't be family related. That's the main two answers I always get. And people are like, yeah, same. Outside of that, now we know Francesco sings. So what about you, Amanda? Outside of family and business, what puts a smile on your face?
We love traveling.
Okay.
I mean, that's how we met. I moved to Rome to travel, teach English, and well, he was here actually first in Canada traveling, and then I went to Rome, etc. So I think that is something we do share, and when we do travel together, whether it's with family or not, we're always happy and we're always excited that we did travel. Outside that, in the community, I love hot yoga. So there's a local studio that I go to, and I love the diversity. We're a great group of women from 20 years old to 70 years old, and that puts a smile on my face. Anything that brings me in the community and anything active, festivals downtown. We live close to the beach, and Camping Fest, anything that brings us together puts a smile probably on my face.
Beautiful. What about you, ma'am?
Me, the fact that of the travel, yes, like to be like in a part of the community. I finally found a place that we can play soccer here in Berry. I love soccer. Like I like to watch right now hockey. I start to learn the hockey. I get into it there, and it's nice. But like I've got Italian growing up to do the soccer all the time.
Right.
We finally found this place in Berry that I actually it was starting 6 months ago. It was me, the coach, and other friends of us. Right now we come with the skills of the business, with the fact that you had contact with a lot of customers. We realized last week it was over 50 people that want to play soccer in 1 hour and a half in a very small field, and we was laughing. It was funny because for nothing we just we was to see around it. Hey guys, this is good. This is amazing.
Where do you play?
Play soccer on Berry with the Berry Cardinals.
Oh yeah, we had them on the show. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Wow,
So now they have their own location on King Street,
on King Street.
close to the bakery.
Awesome. Favorite places that you guys have been to travel wise? Let's give the audience a couple bucket list places. I mean, you went to Rome already, so that's a big one.
Barcelona would be our
Everybody loves Barcelona.
Maybe because we went there with no kids. Yeah. Maybe that's something.
Yeah.
Barcelona would probably be our. Mm-hmm. And in Italy, I don't know.
Puglia.
Oh yeah, Puglia. We went 2020. September 2022, we went to a new area in Italy that neither of us had been to. Yeah. Basically the heel of Italy. So if you imagine the boot, like the heel part.
Yep.
And it was like we were in a different country.
Yes.
In what way?
And you think but Italy is small. Italy has a lot of town, and at each town you go, I felt mostly for the people who never go to Italy, we're gonna go to Italy, for sure we're gonna visit Rome, Florence, all this kind of city. I always felt if you love history, don't book to go to Rome. Just book any kind of small town you can find in Italy, as a history. There is a story, you can see it and listen, and you fill it up your culture with nothing over there. You really appreciate anything. and especially the small town, especially from the south of Italy, we keep like authenticity.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll just say like you go to the small town, no big town anymore.
Okay. Well, there we go. Now we got a couple for the bucket list. Go to the heel, go to Barcelona. There we go. This question really important to me, and I think all entrepreneurs would resonate a little bit. It's about moving through challenging situations in your life, whether you're choosing to, like fitness, for example. You do hot yoga. That's not easy, but from doing that not easy thing, we get a reward in our mind, in our body. I come from the fitness world. I've spent a long time in there. So, going to the gym, not easy. Squats aren't easy. They're painful. But we do them for the reward. Then there's circumstances in your life where you're forced to go into hard things like COVID, right? Nobody chose that. We didn't do that to better ourselves. It just happened. And in entrepreneurship, it happens often. We go through ups and downs, right? Entrepreneurship is a roller coaster, constantly tugging on our emotions, constantly adding stress. How do we find ways through it? So this isn't necessarily about business. This can be personal or business. But the reason we talk about doing hard things on the show is because everybody that comes on the show, I think any human out there does hard things. But I think the perspective of these hard things differs between people. Some people look at it as an opportunity for growth. That's what I believe. I don't think you can grow by living a really easy life all that effectively. I certainly think that the most challenging situations in my life led to the most growth. Like starting a business, those first 2-3 years were extremely hard. I've never worked so hard in my life, but you flatten your learning curve and you build skills much quicker than if things went really easily for me. And I also think they build up a resiliency, a tolerance for resiliency to fortify yourself to future challenges. So we want to be a part of this message that's been being spread. I don't know, let's say 10 years. It's becoming more of a common conversation where people are viewing challenging personal and business situations in life less as a burden. Why me? I'm a victim type thing. This is, I wish things were easier. I think we're understanding a little bit more the science, the context behind moving through challenging situations because we talk about it more. And people, I think, are starting to understand the value of doing difficult things. Like, I believe we were born with an incredible potential, but the only way we get to that potential is we really have to earn it by doing difficult things. I can't keep taking the same grade 8 test forever and expect myself to get better. I have to continually push the boundaries. So we love to ask the guests on the show, as you all have your own unique perspective on going through hard things. Both of you, I know, without even knowing you, just because you're human, have been through difficult things. And the more we can share that message, the more people understand. So we love to ask the guests on the show, are there any trials, tribulations, hardships that the two of you have been through, either personal or business, that probably sucked in the moment, right? Doing a hard thing has a symptom of not feeling good. But you wouldn't, when you look back in hindsight, you wouldn't remove that ingredient from the recipe that has become you two because it's led you to living the life you enjoy today.
So what comes to mind when I think about that is when we had to decide different. So when we bought the business originally, the previous owner was able to survive COVID because she was catering daycares. And daycare caterings was one of the one business that continued during COVID because your numbers were still there. And daycare catering is a whole nother ballgame because you're dealing with allergies, you're dealing with basically kid food. You're giving them cereal, apples, oranges, bananas, and it's tedious and it's terrifying because you don't want to make a mistake with the allergies, and it's time consuming. Everything has to be labeled and packaged perfectly. And so when we bought the business, the daycare catering contracts were part of the business. They were included, and we continued catering these daycares. But Francesco was, particularly Francesco, was tired. He's like, I don't want to cook I don't want to package cereal. Like, this is not my calling. This is not what I imagine. This is not what I want to do. I want to share my recipes and my food with people. And I don't want to come here in the morning and have to think of 130 meals of fish sticks, right? So, but then financially losing those contracts was really, really scary in the sense that, okay, now it's like the whole foundation that has kept Licious alive during COVID, we're literally going to destroy it. Like, and just start like as if we're a regular Italian hot chicken place. And that was probably that was one of the hardest parts of the business for us, is deciding, but we also knew we couldn't continue with these daycare contracts. Like, in terms of our family life balance, our mental stress, our relationship, because it was causing a lot of problems between us. I wanted to keep them because I wanted the financial security, but Francesco was the one that had to prepare these meals every morning, right? We'd wake up at 3 a.m, get there at 4, and then we were there until close, until 7, washing dishes, right? So it wasn't sustainable. It definitely wasn't sustainable, but I wanted to hold the contracts longer. And he said, like, I can't do this. And so that was probably, that decision of getting rid of the daycare contracts was the most difficult for us. But it led to a new opportunity, because as you said, Jeff, we looked at it at the time as, a stumbling block, this financial base just left from us. But a few months later, a local school came up to us and asked, would you be interested in catering elementary schools for hot lunch programs? Past us, your sauces, your recipes, pastas you're already doing, and we like that idea. Now we are not serving fish sticks, we're serving the bolognese that we're making in-house anyways. And one school turned into 16. So now we're doing hot lunch programs for 16 local elementary schools in Barrie. And so at the time, it seemed like a really, really horrible idea. We're such stupid business owners. We're taking out this foundation from underneath us, and it actually turned into, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're comfortable doing hot lunch programs. Yeah, we've done this before. We used to do daycares. Yeah, this is nothing. And it turned into now 16 programs that we're doing, basically in the south end, but now we even have a school in the north end of Barrie, Portage View, everything. Basically, we're just following the link as we go by. Yeah.
This is a great story. So many stories out there like that. The main thing for me, though, that I want to hear is, what did you guys learn from that? I mean, some people could look at that and just be like, that was just luck. That was just happy coincidences. I don't believe that. I believe there's always a lesson to be learned. You guys moved through a very scary and uncertain time, and you're rewarded with stability. And Francesco doesn't make fish sticks anymore, which is great.
It's a happy part of the business, for sure.
Right.
I think it's to do what you love, because at the end of the day, Francesco didn't love making fish sticks for 130 kids as much as kids love fish sticks, right? And we just trusted that if he cooks what he loves, people will notice the love in the food, and the clientele will grow, and it has grown. And the catering business has taken off, part of the catering portion, because he puts love in his food, and he wasn't putting love as much as it's. There are companies that put love in the catering, in the childcare catering, but that's not us, right? We don't want to just everything being portion controlled and cut and wedges, fish sticks and whatnot. So I think that was the lesson maybe we learned from that. And we learned it pretty early on.
It's a huge lesson. I mean, we've been doing this for a long, long time, and we don't just help businesses with their marketing. We help coach them in scaling their business. And one of the most obvious things, but is sustainability. But we don't think about what our lives would be like in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years and 30 years. We're just like, I need to pay the bills now. I have a customer in front of me. There's a fire in the back that I have to put out. Go, go, go. then go to sleep and repeat. But we just can't live that mentality, 2, 3, 4,000 days in a row. And I look at business as it's not something that you win or lose at. It's just something that you stay in. I think the goal is to keep your business for as long as possible. And when you go into that mindset and you start thinking in terms of 20 and 30 and 40 years, me being 37, been doing this for over 10, have no intentions on retiring when I'm 60 or 70, because if you enjoy what you do, you keep doing it. So that means I have like 40 or 50 years ahead of me. If I'm working 14, 15, 16 hours a day of something that I don't like, that's no life to live.
No.
So to figure out a way to enjoy it, even if you work long, I find working long, if you enjoy it, is not a problem for me. It's when I don't enjoy it that it's just hell. So that's a huge learning lesson. I'm really happy you guys pointing that out, because there's a lot of people that are going to listen to this that started in COVID and maybe are doing things that they love and maybe are doing things just to pay the bills from COVID. The sooner they can wrap their head around that mentality that I have 30, 40 years ahead of me, can I picture myself doing this for multiple decades, is what we try to help businesses with their mindset around that. That changes your perspective immediately. Rather than paycheck to paycheck, it's like, do this for 3 decades. Can you do that? No. Okay, let's change. Right. So I'm really happy you guys did that. Now you enjoy what you're doing, right?
Absolutely.
Do you go and sing at the schools, Francesco? Because that's what I'm picturing in my head right now.
Have you ever sung at a school?
I sing like I think it's the
Warnica.
Warnica, yeah.
Warnica?
Yeah, I went to like the Warnica, yeah, the principal is Italian.
The Italian principal.
Yeah, and
Warnica.
every time I deliver the food, like I'm not a quiet guy. I am just polite, but like I like to like hey, I'm here. Say like buongiorno, good morning to everyone. Like I'd be like loud when I see kids. Hey guys, how are you? I'm bringing you your pasta. Yeah, like like and then like sometimes when I do the delivery and see kids like there's some music, I can be quiet. I gotta always give some music, like a feeling like I gotta be in.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes like I go with the classic Italian Napolitan song like Funiculi, Funicula, and I call the happy song. I can make people clap their hands and they fall on the lead, and everybody loves about it.
So what do I have to, because you got a hell of a voice, man. I mean, it's coming through. It's stimulating my ears right now. How do I hear you sing? Do I come by Licious and do I buy
You
something?
can buy Licious.
Okay.
Mostly like the customer when they come like inside, like I hear like there is a singer here, like, and in the moment like they ask you that, like coming up just with a song like also the mio, they can be That's Amore, they can be Love Me Tender, like they can be Mama, any kind of song like Italian classic, like English classic, like 70s, 80s.
Or even when you deliver catering.
Yeah.
People will deliver caterings and they'll request, when Francesco drops off the food for an
like
anniversary or
we did a catering
birthday.
yesterday. It was like for 100 people. There was
Oh,
in
great.
80. It was from they calling us, please, we want to ask. Like they asked bring the food in Woodbridge, and I asked them like, do you have like in Woodbridge like there is like 1,000 like Italian bakery, like why me? Like, and I talked to my wife, you're gonna see, like, as soon as we finish this start to the table, you're gonna see what happened. They're gonna ask you. So as soon as we finish set up this beautiful grazing table, the customers start to come in, and as soon as I finish, I say, guys, like, enjoy your food. Wait, where are you going?
Time to sing.
It's a time to sing. So, but it's supposed to be like it's not included in the contract, right? Yeah, but you're gonna sing today. Yes, I'm for sure gonna sing for you. Now I get it, like, why you ask for a food and for a song. So it was very interesting. A lot of customer, like it was in a park. There was these people, random people in the park just go by, like just to listen to the songs. It was fantastic. In the hand, like I like it. I love it. It's the part of me like they keep me like, hey, tomorrow's gonna be another beautiful day, so let's do it.
I love it. So joyful. It's great, guys. Okay. So I like painting this picture a little bit. You're on stage, right? The two of you, there's like 1,000 of your ideal demographic right in front of you. All the people that you want to serve. They hand you the microphone. They give you 90 seconds. What do you tell this audience? Like the people that don't know about Licious, that are already coming, that have maybe forgotten. What is the main thing you want to say to your audience for that 60 to 90 second period if you had that opportunity?
I would say come visit us if you're looking for an authentic experience, but authentic for food, authentic for people, for service. You know, if you come in once and you tell us, hey, I take 2 sugars in our cappuccino, we're going to remember it. You know, we remember people by name. If you come into the eatery and you stay for 60 seconds, you'll see everyone is greeted by name. Everyone. And a lot of people comment on the food, but also on the environment. And we've seen connections. We've seen, if you want to come in and feel like you're connected again to the business owner, to the person having an espresso next to you, you come into our place. You're not going to get that at Tim Hortons, at Starbucks, where they ask you your name 100 times and write it down. We're going to remember your name, and we're going to remember that you have 2 kids, and we're going to remember that you had a surgery last week, and I'm going to ask you how it went. That's what we provide. We provide a completely different experience than the franchise corporate business.
I love it. Now I have to come by. Now I'm going to have to test this out. I'm looking forward to it. Actually, speaking of that, what is the best way to connect with you guys? Where are you? Facebook, social media? What's the address, phone number? How do we connect?
490 Mapleview Drive West on the corner of Marcellus and Mapleview. Facebook, Instagram, you can just, Licious Italian is the name.
Yep.
And email or telephone 705-252-0221. Email info@liciousbakerycafe.ca.
Website
www.liciousbakerycafe.ca.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
We can deliver. We don't deliver lunches, but we can deliver catering. That's another thing, Jeff. We actually turned off Skip and Uber because we found it was getting in the way of those connections that I just talked about. So as I was having a conversation with someone, or as Francesco was singing, you'd hear that little beeping in the back, right? That stupid tablet from Skip. And it was really getting us angry. So we just turned it off.
So do you do some version of delivery now?
We do, with like a bit of notice, and if we can, we will 100%. But we want to focus on the people that are in front of us when they're.
It's not necessarily. Most of like think like, oh, you took it off Eat or you took it off Skip, like you can do it. So listen, like if you really like hungry, like if you start to want something good, you're not scared to just grab the phone and order the food, like,
and call it.
And not be scared. Like we did this thing like 10, 15 years ago before Uber and Skip.
5 years.
Like whatever it is, like, but like we did it before with that, no problem. Do it again. I think like it's gonna be more healthy, like the way you approach your food, the way you approach the customer, or the customer approach the owner from the business, especially when you handle your food to the customer. Like we don't handle like just grab the bag and go. I grab my sandwich with the 2 hands. Please enjoy. You know, like it's like not a problem for me. Like I have Uber or Skip for us. It's very kind of really.
Yeah, it's a relief. People are surprised though when we say we don't like business. Like I know a lot of business owners rely on it, but we turned it off over a year ago, a year and a half ago.
Oh, I respect that. I respect the reasons why you did that. I like it. I'm looking forward to coming by. I'm definitely going to do that. You guys got me hooked now. I need to hear the singing as well, French. I've said it a few times now. I'm coming for the food. I'm staying for the singing.
Yeah.
No,
any
you guys.
Requests, Jeff? Any? I'm just going to back the computer up.
Whatever he's comfortable with doing. I just want to hear. I've never been to a singing bakery before.
Let's say this one. It's like they did some more song. Like when you go. When it tries like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And then I go, when the word seems to shine like you have too much wine, that's amore.
Amazing.
So I go with this one all the time, and then it's like, This is like it's a solo meal, like very famous from Naples. A lot of tourists love this song. It's kind of like an attractive song, so that's what I use mostly. And yeah,
It's beautiful. First person to sing on the podcast. You guys have been a blast.
It's always like a first time.
It's always first time. It's great, man. Amanda, Francesco, you two have been a blast. It's been great talking to you. I do look forward on stopping by. We will have your stuff everywhere. So for anybody that's listening in the audience, you heard Amanda, you heard the address, and then look for them on socials, look for them on YouTube, find their website. They'll be all over Spotify and every podcasting platform you can think of. So they'll have many places to hear from you guys. It was a pleasure talking to you two today.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
But I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
For you.
You guys have a great afternoon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com or call 705-413-3775.